Okay, let's give you a rundown of what's happened today. I came to the Makati Visa Center, Immigration Center, as I was expected to. The last time I was here last week, and I was told I couldn't apply for the visa too early. In other words, there was like a set period that you can apply for it. Now, I was told instead of applying for it the last week, that I'd have to come back on the 10th, which is today, Monday the 10th of August. Now I have come back, and as I've knocked on the door, or with several other obviously immigrants or tourists trying to get our visas or extensions or whatever it is we're supposed to get for whatever documents, we found that the doors were closed, and it says, sorry, we're closed today. No explanation. No, when we'll be back, when you can come again, just sorry, we're closed. So we all sat and talked for a while, see if we can find a way. One guy decided to call like a main central office, which is the immigration center in Intramuros, which is the main central office. And after hanging on the phone like for about 10 minutes, he got an answer. We were told by the guy who didn't offer an awful lot of confidence. He says, yeah, no, there's not a government holiday today, but somehow, maybe because of the weather, that some of the shops or some of the sites, the remote sites weren't open. And I said, as well as the other guy was asking, look, can we come to that main office in Metro Manila? He says, no, we're closed there too. So that's closed. Now, looking online, we found that nothing was said about being closed today or weather conditions permitting or anything like that on the website. Nothing for anyone to work with. You just turned up, either accept that you wasted money from wherever, because the other guy, he was a Serbian. He came from another part of Manila. I mean, he was like way north. And he was really pissed off because he spent God knows how much money on a bus, on a taxi and all that. And basically we were all no wiser to when we came here a couple of hours ago. Now, it would seem that no one gives you a clear answer or any form of solid, I'm not saying guarantees, but solid recognition or standing regarding what you do next. There's no what can you do next or what you should do next. You're just left to your own devices. And when I was on that call, I said to the guy in the main office, the main immigration office, I said, look, so I'm supposed to fly out. I have a flight booked for the 17th, which is next Monday. And I was told to come back here today. And now this is closed. So what do I do if tomorrow I come again and it's the same problem? What do I do? Do I come and see you there? He says, no, yeah, you can come and see us. I said, but can you ensure that I can get my exit visa done within the time I have, before the 17th? He says, yes, it could be done in one day. But when I talked to the Serbian guy that was standing on the phone talking with me, he said, there's no way they can do that in a day. If they told you need to come here 3 days before to get it done, there's no way they're going to get it done in one day. He says, it's just a lie. So we're back in the situation where it's left to us. So I went downstairs and I was talking to a security guy, and he was probably the strongest resolve I can work with so far. He said to me, it's not a national holiday for the Philippines, but he said here in Makati there is a day holiday, for some groups or some shops or some government people, and that was unclear in some ways, but he says it should all be working back tomorrow as normal. I said, are you sure? Can you pretty much guarantee that? He said, yes, I'm certainly will be back as normal tomorrow. So let's hope he's right, because other than that, I'm seeing myself going to be screwed trying to get to the airport or finding alternative means of getting my exit visa. And I think you can get it. You can get the exit visa there in Manila. I think last thing I remember looking on a Facebook page, it said you could. But what happened was if you turn up there on the weekends or late in the evening, out of business hours, that's not going to be open to you. It's not going to be an option. So you'll be screwed, you'll miss your flight, and then you have to rebook everything. And if you're late leaving the country, you're going to get penalized for being outside of your travel time, out of your visa stay. So it's all very much in the air, and I wouldn't say I'm surprised. But what I would expect is when you go to an office, an official office, I mean, it's a proper office, that you wouldn't have any issues in terms of people saying a certain thing's going to be there, or issuing, explanations as to where and why you can go somewhere else. It's just none of that. That's poor. That's very poor. So, just an update for anyone who's going to be using visas or traveling to Makati or the main central office, and you're looking to get your visa done. It could be a combination of things, like because we're having the typhoon weather here, and it's been like that for like 3 or 4 days. But it's not constantly running. It goes off for a couple of hours and then it stops. Right now, it's dropped off. As you can see, the wind has gone down, the rain stopped, and it's been like that a couple of hours this morning. A quick blast of rain and it stopped, but who knows? So anyway, you're advised now. So make adjustments to your trip.